This is Morning Motivation for Educators on the Bee Podcast Network. Learn about all the shows at beepodcastnetwork.com. You'll hear from a variety of formal and informal educators who help put this podcast together. If you'd like to contribute your voice to the show, please go to morningmotivationedu.com to apply. I am Joey Mascio. I was a middle school teacher for 7 years, and now I run Sidekick to Hero, a coaching business that helps teens with confidence, social skills, and goals. Our brain is constantly trying to make meaning out of everything, even when nothing is there. It's a big driving force in life for everything to have meaning. So when we get rejected, our brain sets to work at making it mean something so the world can make sense, even if the sense that it makes is hurtful to our self-esteem, which quite often it is with rejection. So what I want to talk about today is why we do this and how not to do it. So the truth is, you've already been rejected in your life, and you're probably going to be rejected at some point in the future. It could be a job interview, it could be dating, it could be a promotion at work, whatever it is. Now, there's lots of times in our lives when another person judges us to see if they want to give us something we want: money, attention, love, friendship. And it's bound to happen, if it hasn't happened already, that you're going to want something from someone and they're going to choose not to give it to you. People call this rejection, which is a harsh way of putting it, but that's where the unchecked brain goes, because our brain is always looking to make meaning out of something, really out of everything. It's one of the parts of the psychology called logotherapy. And logotherapy, where logo means reason or meaning, was developed by Viktor Frankl. He was a Holocaust survivor, wrote Man's Search for Meaning. It's a great book. You should totally read it. The main theory behind logotherapy is that we are all driven to find purpose and meaning in life. Freud says we're all driven to seek pleasure. Adler says we're all driven to seek power. Frankl says we're all driven to search for meaning. And we're constantly in a pursuit of trying to figure out what the meaning is behind something, whether we are aware of it or not. Now, our brain's doing this because when we can't attribute a valuable meaning to something, according to Frankl, that's when we experience what he calls the mass neurotic triad of aggression, depression, and addiction. And addiction could be just binging, really any buffering we do to avoid our emotions. So he says a vacuum of meaning in our lives is what leads to the violations of social norms, symptoms of stress, and again, addiction. So our brain is always on the hunt to make meaning to something or give something reasons so we can avoid that mass neurotic triad. But ironically, when we get rejected, the meaning that our brain often assigns to it is usually a personal attack on ourselves, which again leads us back to the mass neurotic triad. It's just one of those instances where our brain is trying to work for us, but ends up working against us. So how do we stop this? Well, let's use Frankl's reasoning that we're always in pursuit of meaning. What I do and what I encourage my clients to do is that consider the task that you got rejected from. Let's say it was trying to get a promotion or a certain position, and you didn't get it. And so that's the task, is getting that promotion. On that level, that lower level of the task of getting that particular role or promotion, you didn't get it. If your brain stays on that level, it's going to be very hard for it to make meaning that is helpful or valuable. It's going to draw the shortest line between your interview and not getting that job, which was the task you were trying to accomplish, not getting that promotion. And the shortest line is probably going to be something like, you suck and you weren't good enough, you don't deserve it. But if we go a level up from the task, and again, the task is just that interview or that promotion, but your level up is, why do you even want that? Getting that job or promotion that you were, got rejected in, it's part of a higher purpose. What is that purpose? If you can develop a strong meaning and purpose on that higher level that's more broad, the higher you go on levels, the broader we get. If you can just go one level up and you're like, well, I got that job so I can serve students better, so I can fulfill really my potential. Like I'm trying to fulfill my potential to help people. That's your purpose. That's your greater meaning. So now the rejection of not getting that one particular role or job opportunity is just a small event on a lower level that's under your greater purpose. And your brain is going to have an easier time making a much more positive meaning out of that rejection on that lower level. Oh, well, yeah, people get rejected on their way to fulfilling their greater purposes. And it will be a lot easier for your brain to create a positive narrative about not getting the thing that you wanted to. So then you can keep taking action. And that's really what's important, because if you stop taking action because you were feeling rejected and down from that, then you're never going to get the thing that you want. So spend time developing a higher purpose, or I should say a stronger purpose at a higher level of whatever the task was, and focusing on that. That will stop your brain from making rejection mean something that it really actually doesn't mean. Thanks for listening, and whatever role you have in education, we have a podcast for you at bpodcastnetwork.com. Who among your friends and colleagues needs to hear this message today? Please share it with them right now.